Alright, bro. Back to episode 1. The courtroom bombing incident. Double attack launch. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Timlet was discovered to be responsible for the bombing. If only it were that simple. Somehow, I can't help but think. But there's a darker influence at work. Looking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the one. I got more than a few personal stakes in it. What's so cosmic about it? The cosmic turnabout. Something about stars? Yep, there it is. Cosmic's turnabout. Space Center. Oh, that's why it's cosmic. It's actual space. Hatto 2. Hatto Nemo. What is that? NASA? It's Gasa. Captain. Got stabbed. He said, I want to review the case that was being worked on when the bombing happened. Defendant lobby number 5. Time for another trial to begin. But this one's different. Sorry to bother you, but... Junie? You alright, Apollo? She was gonna be a lawyer too, right? Or a judge? Hi, Jennifer. I'm fine. I'm ready to go. So what date is this? Taryn? He was a friend of mine, right? Yes. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Brought your present. Banana? A lotus root? The lotus root is good for her. She even says that if you look through the holes, you can help see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it, and thanks for this. You can have some right now. Can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops. Gotta calm down. Hello. Sorry I'm late. Dude, so when is this? Is this before episode 1 or after episode 1? Dina. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? You sly little thing. She has a crush on me, right? Dina, stop. Quit kidding around, Dina. Charles about this thing. Yeah, she does have this thing, right? The widget. So she should know if she has a crush. Figure out what. Wow, that was the longest I've ever heard. Larry? That's Larry Butts. Who is it? It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. Who's their client? Mr. Solomon's Soul Starbuck. That's Larry! It's literally Larry Butts. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. Scene of the crime, this happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I were almost a little too much. That was your... Is that him? Jigsaw. But that's where we met, Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, so he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. But in those days, the man was 100% my hero. It's Larry Butts! It's Larry! Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... Huh... Hey, I missed it. I was supposed to be in space right about now. Well, getting called up must have been a huge shock. Probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Besides, you just have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I can face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Terran. Solomon Starbuck. So, a close friend of mine. So this was the friend. Who is he? Mentor to the victim. Apparently this was my hero? Clay Terran. Can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me you're fine, Mr. Starbuck. How could something like this happen to a guy like him? I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Clay's gone. I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. You'll be fine. Ah, what is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence? No. That's not what I mean. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd like to, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everyone thinks I did it. Though, I was gonna store like a comment, but I was just gonna crash like a meteorite. No, don't say that. Don't count yourself out just yet. I know it's hard to be a teammate, but you gotta keep going. What about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the shot right now. Are you ready to go? Apollo. Trial's about to begin. If the defense would please proceed to court. So this was the case I was working on before episode 1 happened. Is that it? For Clay's sake and our client, I will find Clay's killer. December 16th. Court is now in session. Court is in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. The defense is ready. Okay, so this is after it. Like, right after. Excuse me, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine, Your Honor. Defense is ready. Sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. He's entering such a touchy age. Hold up. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. Very well. In the prosecution. Prosecution appears to be ready as well. Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. What? Oh no. Ah. The prosecution is now ready. It didn't take him long. What's up with Blackwell? Now then, I shall give the opening statement. I'll do it. You will? What an innocent surprise. This time I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. You both seem different somehow. Very well, Prosecutor Rocco. Your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. So, like, I want to know, when is this? When is this, bro? Is after episode 1? Before episode 1? It's gotta be after, right? Starting to be a judge. Wait, let me go back to episode 1. Episode 1. Did he have the thing? Okay, he had the eye patch. Not the eye patch, the eye wound. He was defending a client in courtroom number 4 when the bombing went off, resulting in the injury he has. That famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right? Is this in Japan or America? It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from here, but at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled. My word, 2 bombs. How dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck, for whatever insane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck. Correct, Your Boldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? Hope for the future, I've got to make it back alive. The Hat 1 miracle. Got a real space pioneer in court today. But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand, yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Tarrant, a subordinate of the defendant. A loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so, he was sent not into space, but to the universe, which we mortals cannot see. Clay. I think I've heard enough. Case seems to be pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. It's the same one. What purpose does it serve exactly? Since you asked nicely, it's your coffin. Wait, I gotta take a shit. Have mercy on me. I jest. It's evidence. Still team in size. We've little choice. I didn't read it. But to lay it where it rests now, we shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Okay, so this was before. It was before the court. Yeah, I feel like I just lost 50 years of my life. Does he even have 50 years? How old is he? Inner monologue, Athena. Enough jabbering. Bobby! And just as we trust. Detective Fulbright. Very well then. Please explain the details of the incident to the court if you would. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Here we are. For more detailed look on what's on the left side of the building. Bad idea. Bad fucking idea. You want to leave the rocket out in open space. You don't want it next to a facility like this. See the launch pad in the main building? That's a bad idea, bro. You don't launch from there. The launch pad is a square building, and the structure is a main building, right? Got it. The incident took place at the launch pad 1 and in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Two bombs went off. Boom, boom. The flight got canceled. After the escape, one of the two was found stabbed to death. A murder. Detective? The victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, right? Yep. Except there's a bombing. The defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo. Oh my. Is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, that's the knife that's wholly ended this young man's dreams. I mean... he's still in his dreams. By the way, Detective Fulbright, where's the helmet and the right glove? Had to remove him to identify him, Your Honor. Why his hand? We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity. Yes, it'd be very difficult to identify him without a fingerprints. What is this round thing next to the victim? Something important the victim took with him as he escaped to the launch pad. Asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to... Are you sure? I see. Are you sure? We know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that was Launchpad 1 located? Hold up. Hold up, man. Why did he have it? No fingerprints could be lifted? Where was the bomb in Launchpad 1 located? That one on the rocket itself. Just situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I'd like to submit this diagram report into the record. The trials just started and we're already blind. In a bind. Get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examine is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing, that's the key. Just before the rocket was set to launch, really? Oh, let's just press. Just press. Oh, anti-examining them. Anti-anxiety tablets were found among the victim's possession. He was taking them in secret to quell his fears. Rumor has it threatened to crash a number of times as well. But that doesn't mean he goes so far as to blow up his own ship. Damarina! He couldn't dare to mar his good name, could he? That would be absurd. Just to enter the area from Lounge 1, one must pass through a door guarded by fingerprint recognition device. Take a look at this photo. The door in the lounge on fingerprint lock. The only person who owns fingerprint can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. Yuri Cosmos. Do we have him? Nope. Not a chance. He was in the Moon building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Despite having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Is there a time span? Hold their hopes and dreams for Dash. Was found stabbed to death. There were 2 of them. The director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. One of them was a detective. Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombing, you see. Don't also worry about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the bombing lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. 2 witnesses are, and one of them is the detective. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me. pretty much covers the details of the case. Justice Tunnel. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from security camera. 2 astronauts emerge from the bowls of Launchpad Corridor 1. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering. What you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. Oh, zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in, man. Does he have the knife in him? I'm sure no black hole would have something like this. Alright, let me see. Let me see. How exactly did they turn back Clay was already gone in that footage? Oh, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was alive, that is crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Is it possible he was still alive here? Why, I believe you're right. Zoom in! There's no knife. There's no knife, man. And how do you carry someone like that? He's not dead. He's out of oxygen. Wait. Check his oxygen level. What's his oxygen level? Can't tell. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body, okay? It also makes sense if he's alive, too. Fulbright explained it to Justice Dono. You got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge after all. Doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's the horse of a different color. We can't deny that there's a possibility of murder. The murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out. Your assertion is based on emotion. Expecting to believe that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple, but you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could be still alive. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking sound and logic. But it sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, you have no further objections. I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Alright, what you got? Your Honor, defendant requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. Yes. Yosh, you have 5 seconds. After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness, raise your gavel. It's time for the countdown. Ready? He's ready. We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena. 3 more seconds. I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing, like they conveniently left it unexplained, something they didn't explain. You're right. Your 5 seconds is up. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument you'd like to review? What is it? The motive why the body was moved? I mean, both? Why the body was moved? They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the villain wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave the body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? Prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill anyone who was helping him. Fulbright, explain it for a sad friend here before I nod off his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Spaceboy moved the victim. They gotta be joking. Simple. Mr. Starbucks did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression that he heroically risked his life to save his partner. Then why'd you assume he was carrying his... And then why do you assume that he was carrying a dead dude? Like, if that's the first assumption... Chief well, obviously it didn't work, right? It looked to him, the detective, that the body was dead. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story to fit for the silver spoon. Humanity of the story. You see, the true ending is that all trees are blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion. You fucking liar. You said there were two. You can't do that shit in court. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was because we were in the lounge. The steel coffin besides the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport. Okay, so you're saying there was a third bomb, but it didn't explode, right? At least a transport deactivated bomb here. We found in the lounge a bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. It was found in the lounge a bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. One in the second floor main building, one in the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and the other vital evidence would surely have been immolated. Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. It's like he's reading my mind. As it is still ongoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a particular item was found in one of Mr. Starbucks' pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. You found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Star Director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket, feeble-brained that he is. No, Mr. Starbucks would never do anything like that. Justice, don't open your eyes and see. Hold on, so where did he get the scar? Where did he get the eye patch? He was defending a client in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off, resulting in injuries he currently has. Yeah, but when did the bomb go off? There has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You'll believe in your client, come what may. Why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? It's gotta be a trap. It's like Brock was controlling the entire game. Yeah. He was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? You just has the right argument when I pointed it out. And to rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeves too. He's trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck to break me down. And making you examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan? I mean, I'll take it. Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now, let us hear from the ARC villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Hello. Cross-examine. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. It's Larry Butts. Same model, right? How did this happen? You aren't looking very well. Wait. No. Unfortunately, no is not an option. You're being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations. Mind if I take the suit off? It's getting really heavy. He can't? Why does he have an astronaut suit on still? It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon, I don't care anymore. Wow, that was super negative. He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. Okay, so you gotta explain to me, where did you get that eye patch? Like, how'd you get injured? All I do was to pour Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle and headed to the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got to the elevator to evacuate. I couldn't kill Clay. I just want to save him. So you certainly didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim? Huh. But I bet you think I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment until after I heard your testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't believe me I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who wears a suit like that except an astronaut? I'll say that when I saw you in that movie. You appear quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to the fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I don't really care what happens anymore. He's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing of yours would rub off on other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell just a second ago? That was Blackwell's sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun shy now. It's time to find out the truth. I didn't kill him. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle, headed to the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay, I was trying to save him. All I did... What about your left hand? Of course, he was alive and well. So, then you admit you took the man who was alive and well and silenced him permanently with this. What? No. Blackwell confirmed. Dead ahead. Oh, it's no good, Captain. I'm getting Come back in. You're not in space. Please give your testimony seriously. That was just nerves. But maybe I shouldn't have said I was alive and well. It's more like he was slumped over. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. The defendants escaped from the corridor to the boarding lounge. The middle level, right? Down the middle level, headed for the corridor. And this is where the fingerprint was. And then this is the launch pad 1 door lock. So the door lock was here. Alright, I took the elevator down to the middle and headed to the corridor. From the corridor to the boarding. From the corridor to the boarding lounge. So there's another fingerprint lock here. Fingerprint recognition system. Only the presence of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, Terran, authorized independent security company management. Backup power allows it to function even when the power goes out. Attempts to use fingerprint are also recorded via camera. Stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor boarding lounge in the main building. Third floor, so he was murdered here. Took the elevator down to the middle and headed through the corridor. And from the corridor to the main building. Okay. I'm just pressing just in case. He's hiding something. So he was just using the route he always used, in spite of the fact that that's what he used. Yeah, hold up. Hold up. Explosion sparked a fire in the second floor main building, middle of... Okay, so... The explosion happened here, and then here. Took the elevator down to the middle level. The elevator. And headed to the corridor. What elevator? There's a ladder. Where's the elevator? He took the elevator. What elevator? Oh, this. Okay. Elevator down to the middle level. And down. And headed for the corridor. Second floor of the main building. Explosion in the second floor of the main building. In the middle of the launch pad. Second floor of the middle. There was an explosion there. Right? To be as accurate as possible. Was it not being accurate? No, because it's impossible to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall after the explosion, the middle elevator was engulfed in flames. You're right, which means... Exactly, the Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. Take off that helmet. Mission command, do you read me? This mission command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my question, Mr. Starbuck. My helmet. He's dying. Oxygen concentrated, the body temperature raising, requesting medical assistance. Yeah. Why'd you lie to me, man? Hello? Mr. Starbuck, we're not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. He seemed more like an astronaut now than he was doing all that sighing. Could you explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator? I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I actually took a different route. The ladder, right? I'll get it this time. He took the ladder. Your accuracy is paramount in court. Alright, gotta use the restroom again. Escape route. Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake, but I remember now. I think of a different route. Maybe. Probably. With my capsule. Oh, I didn't read it. You escape without using. Hey, let me fucking read! With a capsule and claim my arms, I made my way down to the upper level. Seriously, you escaped without using the elevator? That's right, there's a ladder that spans the upper and middle level. I used a ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hasn't reached the ladder, so we can make our escape that way. So you carried him down the ladder. So what do you mean the thing next to Mr. Terron here? Was the capsule important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, the capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, so why was there an asteroid sample in the capsule? Did you go to the moon already? Like, you know? Kind of doesn't make sense. Like, usually you take an asteroid sample down from the asteroid down to Earth. So, and he's never been to space, right? So how'd you get the asteroid sample? What were you going to do with it? Were you going to bring it to space, or were you bringing it down to Earth? Clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also... For what? You never went to space. How'd you get the thing? How'd you get the How'd you get the asteroid sample? He said he never went to space, right? Where's the thing? He never went to space. Or the flight failed, so he couldn't go that time. So it's not an asteroid sample. Mata! Enough jabbering. With my capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. How the fuck did you do that? Yeah, it's really important. But I couldn't let it get burned up. I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. The best I could. Shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. Justice tunnel? I know. Just like the Buddha, you can see why he couldn't run though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, I guess over the clay was another 200 pounds. You have to ensure this. Walking straight for a probably all I can do. Yeah, but what about the ladder? Do I show him this? Oh, what is that behind him? What is this? Is that an escalator? Okay. Let's show him the ladder. Right? Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see, the earth is blue. No, that's not right. I guess the earth isn't blue. That's it. Truth, Mr. Starbuck. Ah, oxygen concentration super low in this area. Yeah. Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please draw him out. Please draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. This was the escape route. The ladder. Cry? To get down from the upper level, you would have to go down the ladder, isn't that right? Of course. That was the only way we could escape. Igiyari! But how would that work? The time you were supporting was a turn over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as you were pulling him over 200 pounds. Ah. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of the Earth. But the Space Center is located on Earth, sort of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? Oh, this dumbass, how'd you become an astronaut? The real question is, how did he become an astronaut? Come clean and tell us the truth, now. Engineer. It's a parachute? He can fly? Help, I'm caught in the ceiling. Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch a rescue mission at once. Oh, that's when you take off. That'll prove his innocence. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes, I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Not that. Anything but that. What is going on? It appears Fayboy is prone to deception. Witness? Yikes, yes. I thought your story is odd. Perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect? A medical side effect? What are you talking about? Then I already state that Spaceboy is ironically terrified of going into space. That's why I took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of anti-anxiety drug was found in the system. Oh. You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about the drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. Found in the system, but he doesn't remember taking it. How could that be? Somebody must have slipped into me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember as much. Athena? Widget thing? Ordering report. Can't be. I don't know if I didn't remember anything. Well, it certainly explains why this one kept changing. Widget thing! Here's your widget thingy. Oh. Maybe I did. Which brings us to answer our original question of how the witness climbed down the ladder with the dead body. It does? So, what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Tunnel. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Oh my, I see. Then the defendant could climb down with the shoe. Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks in the body itself. So you're capable of quick thinking. Yes, you're correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Huh? What is this? Hold up. Blunt force trauma? Cause of death, stabbing. Victim was discovered in third floor main building. What is this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying it ruptured when it defended dropped the victim's body. I am. For they fracture easily when struck. Then you're taking that shit to space? Even if it's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave marks on his body. According to the autopsy report, only a knife wound was found in the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this language, isn't it? Damarina! Spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy. It includes the latest technological devices that is made of fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect the astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few yards, Earth yards, would hardly leave a mark on the wearer. Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should, and yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped a weak spot in the suit's fracture and found its way to the target. What are the chances? You forget our killer is an astronaut himself with the knowledge of how a suit worked. He got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped the body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shorted the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate. It's clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only man who could have killed Clay Terran. There. The report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Oxygen tank data added to the court record. It's pretty detailed. The display on the astronaut left shoulder shows oxygen remaining. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0. The tank belonging to Starbuck, who claims to have killed the victim, said it was 80% full. The tanks were functioning properly at the time. Let's see, does this display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows oxygen remaining? The glowing sign digits represent the amount of oxygen. I'm done for. Going to prison instead of space. Space boy. Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. It's not half bad, Mr. Starbuck. See you in space. Let's go! Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Yes, Apollo? You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that? So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the men who respected you and believed in you, Clay Terran. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. He's back. He's back. You good? Thanks, I can see clearly now. Mr. Starbuck? I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life mission. Right, we'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent, you'll see. After that, we'll get you back into space. You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul. I'm on fire. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Bother Dash. The sun, the moon, all of the space calling for me. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 2, 1. What is this for? What is this for? Actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it. Can't take credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. Isn't that right, your Baltus? I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. When was that? I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. Gotta destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice. The only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. Hold up, man. Is that the suit? Wait, is this a jacket that Apollo was wearing in episode 1? If Clay was already dead by the time the footage was taken, then the only person who had killed him is Mr. Starbuck, so the only way to counter Blackwell's argument, if I can prove Clay was still alive when he arrived at the boarding lounge, in which case I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now, let's see, about the data we just received, this is supposed to be Clay proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay body in Launchpad 1, but if I'm gonna prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. His shackles are broken! Enough farce here, Baltus. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen thing that you submitted just now, it says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terran's had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of his report? Of course. And I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You explain. What do you mean explain? What the fuck do you mean explain? It's right here. Blacko, you're an amateur. Simple. Photographs and evidence. Yes, Your Honor, right away. Here's the evidence of the report's contradicts. A camera. You fucking amateur. The problem part is here. Fucking amateurs. No remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as it carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50, but according to our data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. Oxygen in the tank increased. I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here? Got money in that. It would be as... Okay, so he noticed too. Explain that, sir. But what does it prove? It doesn't show the fact that there's that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse. I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations if you don't abide by the rules. Either way, oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. You can't overlook it. In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of mysteriously increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or the clarity and consistency of mere equipment malfunction. He has a point. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. Of course I can. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. This means with the 50 on his oxygen tank, but if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions? Hold up. Hold up, man. Does he have an oxygen tank? Where's your oxygen tank? I don't see an oxygen tank. Hold up. You said this thing fell out, right? You said it fell out when he dropped him down the ladder, but it's still here. It didn't fall out. What are you talking about? It is still here. After the incident, it was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0. The tank belonged to Starbuck and claims to have carried the victim. Okay, so they were swapped. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. As the victim was carrying the defendant. They were going the other way, tanks were damaged, victim was carrying the defendant. They were swapped. So what if it was the other way around? The other way around, would you care to explain? Both men had their helmets on in the footage. Turns out, this is where base assumption went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. What? Okay, so he dropped you, right? So he dropped you. He's the one that got dropped, and that's why he can't remember, because his head's damaged. You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image was the victim? It's the only way the riddle of increasing oxygen was to be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the room oxygen in the victim was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right. There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape from the lounge. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? How did he descend the ladder with his own foot? Drop them! He dropped them! Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that needs further investigating. We have proven that Mr. Karen was alive when we reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. Open the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. A third party? But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? One of them might have given a false statement to the police. It's certainly possible we might have to do more digging. Seems we'll have to hear the testimony of the first two people. Explore. Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand? Hey, Tetanate! I have an announcement, everyone. What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial. Remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. A bomb? Now? Everybody run. I don't want to die. Everyone's panicking. Damarina! Headless chickens with the desperation, a lot of you. Calm yourself before all else. Come on, Apollo. Let's get out of here. But what about Mr. Starbuck's dream? And who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth forever. I refuse to let things end here. Okay, how the fuck did you get this eye patch, man? How did he hurt his eye? Come on, this way. Ouch. Let's go. Apollo, Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? Juniper, are you alright? It still doesn't explain how he got the eye patch. How the fuck did he get the eye patch? He had the eye patch since the episode started. Yeah. Investigation day 1. Continue on to the next chapter, yes. In the middle of the Space Center bombing, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed quarter number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from there when the bomb went off. Okay, so which one? we had another bombing incident, the one in Burton number 4. So 2 at the same time, right? Unfortunately, Jennifer was a finger to Curtin bomber. How did he get the eye patch wound? Still doesn't explain it. So we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tilly. Why the eye patch? So he had the eye patch wound, and then he got injured again. What the fuck? You're gonna explain that shit to me? Poor guy, being attacked by 10-8, on top of all his other injuries. Apollo is resting at a nearby Hickfield clinic. So, this jacket is from his friend, right? It's the same jacket. Some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. You miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody else to tease. By the way, they're brothers and sisters. They're siblings. I think. Right? Don't worry, he's young. He'll quit before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. Your brother! We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people. No time to be mopping around now. Just try those eyes, both of you. You're the one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities. Look, we have to work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? Apollo Space Center case. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with you, Dad. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge your fallen comrade, right, Daddy? How long has he been falling? He's still alive, you know? Good. Now that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. There she goes. Better catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing. Be careful. In the meantime, let's take some cookies. Oh, she's back. Don't mind me. Just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone. So I thought you forgot everything. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag. Alright, you dude. Let's be careful out there. Yeah, that's right. He's a super famous astronaut who works in the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in the outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. Why is he still in a spacesuit? That was the longest I've ever heard. Apollo told me about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I got you covered. You're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. Wait, whoa. Is that a backstory? Is that a backstory case? My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. He seriously gotta stop depressing himself. Take some pills, bro. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere just means we'd shine like a shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we're here to do. The shooting star is burnt out in a flash. Ah, yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1. To stratosphere and beyond. Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Alright, the case. So you have no memory at all. He was out. He got dropped in the head. And I'm so ashamed. Memory at the time. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those You just try to develop fear. Posting medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety get bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know? So, the so-called Hat 1 miracle must have been terrifying. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certainly the theory of relativity. He seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for. If you'd take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you? Exactly, that's what I thought. Must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted a detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your print on the switch before sleeping. Real possibility. Do you remember anything else that made it relevant? The knife. I think it came from the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work in the machine are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. Hat 1 miracle. As I recall, your last trip to space was 7 years ago. Okay, but what is this thing? What is this capsule you were trying to carry? Why does it have an astronaut in it if you never went to space this time? That's right, it was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problem? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off when we were trying to enter the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner, but I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The dark current just goes on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was going to come save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. Experience like that would make anybody afraid to go into space. Outer space, how was that? With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way, of course not. Even now, I want to go into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit, it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid, of course. Still am. But space is a man's final frontier. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. Cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth everywhere, walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. Yeah, no, fucking misclicked. I misclicked. The victim. It's kind of your prodigy, wasn't it? But Claire did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and prodigy, what a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back to space. But now... Very encouraging, huh? Hey, is that why his name is Apollo? Apollo. Is that why his name is Apollo? You know, like the Apollo program? Our first space launch? The Apollo project. You're fine. I always knew he was feeling everything really was going to just be fine. You're fine. Apollo says I'm fine. And you're fine all the time too. And I also encouraged too whenever I hear him shout. Yeah. Daijoubu-da. Clay and Apollo are best friends. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clavin told me he wanted to be my prodigy. Those who hung around the Space Center so much, they're like a part of the staff. One time during the Zero-G training, I started to panic a little. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was actually what he needed to hear. So I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over? He dropped him on his head. He just said fuck it and he dropped him on the head. And that's why he was out. He couldn't remember anything. Sorry, can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down the ladder. He dropped him on the head, that's what I'm saying. From the freedom of his face to the walls of his cell, that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad. Through barred windows. You're fine, Solomon. Soul Starbucks is fine. Everything's gonna be alright. Huh? Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? I'm fine. Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get you back into space, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your innocence and have faith in us. If I have to make it back into space, all I need first is a not guilty verdict. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's go. Let's move. Entrance to what? Hello. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. Almost like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see the rockets up close? Oh, and check it out. Look at how brightly the Gyaxa logo shines. The sunlight above the entrance. I really dig the stars and rocket motif. Hold up. Gyaxa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the federal space program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is GAS supposed to stand for? Galaxy? Is that right? And the whole thing would be something like Gyaxa Exploration Agency. Yeah. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated Gyaxa. Yes, so. I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is being treated often like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument. Challenge the shooters, full speed ahead. Who are you? Hey! What's up? Thanks. Who's this geezer? What's he want? Look upon me. Hey, he's a dude. He's the other guy, right? But you are? Yuri Cosmos. Yeah. Director of Cosmos Space Center. Center of the Cosmos. Yeah, the guy with the fingerprint. The guy with the fingerprint, remember? Evacuation report. Director Cosmos, Starbucks, and Terran were authorized. Independent security company manages attempts to use finger recognitions are also recorded via security camera. Is this person the Space Center director? That means... Aha, so you're one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Gamma's arm. That is correct. I was honored to be the first man in all of space to discover the body. But to talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? Can't attack the word police onto just anything, you know. We're Mr. Starbucks lawyers. We're here to investigate the case. And we're Earth lawyers, by the way. I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you're appropriately grateful. Thank you, sir. I can tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. I won't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body. Yuri Cosmos. What do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacle stands in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I've leave the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel. To break stations, prepare for a break. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That's right, because I'm an important man. My manner is important. Mr. Right, this man doesn't get sarcasm. There's bound to be people like here. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important? Very well, I'll tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. I might be more impressed at any lady specifically about the bombing. You should tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day. I refuse. What? Explaining his job for common folk, not the director of a space center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. So does it mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in all of history. In the history of mankind. I'm not sure if you really... Hey, what's up? Understand what being a witness is all about. Director Cosmo is a type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. So please try to ask him about the things he might be willing to. Hat 1. He's missing an eye. His rocket, despite the number of problems, somehow made it back home. I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folks like you. Very well, I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat 1 project. Thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbucks was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, Hat 1 reached its planned orbit, from where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into space, in the far reaches of space. After a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, right? Correct. And it truly was a miracle, of course. They just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. Oh, so that was the sample. That was the sample from... I was wondering about that. What kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis. This might be really... Yes, it's alright. Well, I'm liking it so far. It came back to the bay before Terrence murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space program ahead of other countries by several years. It's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just loudmouth Baggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessor was successful in bringing the moon rock back. It's the greatest achievement in the history of Space Center. The public fell in love with space and love for its potential. The moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. You went to the moon? Our endeavors with the moon rock live in the work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future moon upon mankind once again. That is my mission. As the man who stands at the center of cosmos. I heard there was lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from the asteroid these days. They say the result could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a space race with every country out there. What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight. He got a budget cut? This is expensive, man. I guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. She was here, right? Like 10 years ago? It was a tourist attraction, right? Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm very busy. Very important man. He does have his eye. He does have his eye. That thing is surprisingly fast. I think he's better get going too. The boarding lounge. Which floor? Where am I? Boarding lounge. Floor 1? This is where Mr. Turner. So floor 3. This lounge. Just see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the middle, in the main building here, on the right side. They fled from launch pad 1 after the explosion. No amendments without express permission. I got permission! The guy who owns this, the director, he gave me permission. Nobody gets in without I do have permission! Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Hey, bring him in! Go get clearance from him, and then we'll talk. In the name of justice, right? You have to go through that door with the blue rocket, I think. Wait, that door looks awfully similar. Good eye there. So that's the place. That explains it. The fingerprint system hasn't deactivated, so I think we can pass through. Come on, let's go. Alright, let's just go on. Whoa, you're using robots? Corridors the two of them used to escape. It's the only thing connecting the launch pad 1 with the main building. See the police tape down at the other end? Guess what we're looking at the launch pad. Policemen are quite stubborn. Yeah. Like, we own Fulbright, right? We can just say we're here for justice and he'll let us in. Now where could Detective Fulbright be? That's him over there. Hey, what's up? Which path is the path of justice? It's us. Seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is straight shot. Hey, what's up? Can we get through? The rocket sizing? We're here to investigate the same. Got any info to share? Boss, if he acts all reluctant to give us information, we'll hit him with the whatever shall we do act. Are you trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info in the case, huh? Oh. Seeking truth, justice side by side, I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. What happened to him? I don't know, something's weird about him today. We need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. The crime scene. Could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard, we can't get him in. Get in. Oh, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let him know. Thanks, bro. That was easy. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. That's fine. Definitely not the Fulbright, I know. Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. What happened? You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, were you? That's right. I was here on a security assignment. Police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes, well, you know us. To serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. He was here? Wait, he was here. Why would he be here? He's a detective, why would he be here? Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew up sky high. I immediately instructed the visitors and employers to evacuate the shelter. The shelter. That's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement. Is there for accident emergencies in there, like? So, where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It's quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then it wasn't impossible to get down from the basement shelter. No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least I could reach it. A folding ladder! A folding ladder. I secured the ladder. I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out of safety, I made my way down too, headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. Very, very helpful. Just a moment. I have some more information to share with you. What? He has more that he wants to tell? Is that him? Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness. Witness? Could you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. She was climbing down and she looked through a window and oh, that's her. Right? Candace. Has to be her. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. She was looking into the crime scene from the outside. Huh? That's right, it was a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly, though. Candace Arm? Don't worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. No, she's dead, right? Is she? Yeah, she's dead. This is after episode 1. No. But it happened before episode 1, so... And she's alive? You're gonna interview her? So it's not Candace. I don't know, someone new probably? A 4th floor employee, huh? Thanks for the info. He sure is cooperative. A little too cooperative, even. What happened to him, man? Actually, something you can't talk about? Is he getting fired? Never mind, don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. Bye! What was that all about? Something definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him next time I see him. Alright. We have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Boarding lounge. We're back. You too. He said I should bring you some snacks and give you a neck rub if you like. I don't know, take it. Take it! It's a snack. Let's see, what's the diagram here? The lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. According to Apollo, this is where he believes the 3rd party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this person. There they are. It's from this room. It's just so big. Don't worry, we can use this to help. Space Center pamphlet for tourists? Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The map inside should come in handy. Let's see, a map of the lounge. This door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the third. That's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess the map will make things a little easier. Space Center pamphlet added to the court record. No more excuses. Let's track down the third scene. One more thing. What's that strange creature moving around in the window? The boss. It's a holographic image. Yeah, I knew that. What a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet. The only reason you're so eager to start is so you can push that button, isn't it? What's wrong with that? Let's keep investigating. Can we turn it off? Turn it off! Oh, the body. So this is where they discovered Clay. He was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. His hand like that. He was stretched out like this, and what's that thing that looks like thermos? What? Thermos? Let's get back image. Yeah, you know what it is. It's the capsule. It's the asteroid sample. You said it contains asteroid. Oh, right. He's Phoenix Wright. So he shouldn't know, right? Let's see. Is that it? Now we know this. Fingerprint? Do we actually get to play it? Nope, of course not. What is that? Big knob is for stove. Anything else? Is this what the moon feels like? I was practicing. Oh boy, I want to try it. Gravity is weak in the moon, so I bet you could do mid-air somersaults. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. I think I could jump really high. There's a sign in the wall that says clearly, don't jump too high. Why not? Didn't I say in debating walk on the surface of the moon? So you just walk on it? It has to do something with the case, right? Whoa, whoa, what is that? Take the cover off. A bullet? Metal jelly bean. It's a bullet. Why would there be bullets in here? Maybe the police didn't. Oh, yeah, but why is there a bullet here? What is this? Trash can? Trapdoor. It's a trash chute. It's cleaning robots throw the garbage out from there. What is that? Whoa, a fragment. It means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. Prosecutor Black was theories that Starbucks dropped Clay down the ladder. It's mostly wrong. Proves that both astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So Apollo was right. The scene at the murder wasn't the launch pad. Way to go, Apollo. Alright, but can we take the evidence? There are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. The Space Center pamphlet. We're here in this place that says Boarding Lounge 1. There are 3 rooms. It's called Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually call West, East, and South. I like Athena's better. Details. Looks like the westward door. Door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. Yeah, I know how this works. That's the control room. So, the center of Space Center, the Space Center Center, if you will. So everybody starts to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here for a while. Seems that they built a new command center in this Explorer. That's what it is for a Het 2 mission. So this control room was empty at the time. I've always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here... so the door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only Director can go through. With that much security, I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. Apparently the lock is also hooked up to get backup generator in case of emergencies. What about the door? The lower door, excuse me, I mean south door? It leads to the elevators. This door came through when we entered, right? That's the entrance? Yep, and of course, I just missed it. And of course, there was no fingerprint recognition. The device, so it's open to anyone. Oh. That's about it for the 3 muscadors on the boarding lounge. Thanks. That's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where the doors go. What is that? Hologram. Spider web. Whoa, 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 hold up. Hold up. There's a crack here. How do you turn this off? What is that? These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session. How do you turn the thing off? Is that a mirror? Thoughtful. Ladies can fix their makeup. Appearance is just important in space as it is on Earth. No, it's not. Like, who are you trying to impress with your look in space? You never know when you're going to run into some life form after all. So, I doubt anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in space in the first place. Yeah, but how do you turn the screen off? Another mirror. A window. That's a window? For ventilation. Alright, are we done here? There's security footage. Oh, security camera footage. Search the crime scene. Find and talk to the witness of the crime. Alright, anything else? Oh, security camera. Security camera. Let's commensurate with the love and peace. You're done now, shall we move on? Okay, but one more for the road. Peace. Very mature. Is that it? This thing! There's a bullet hole in here. That's where the bullet came from. How do you turn it off? How do you turn it off? They talked about turning it off earlier. I guess, Fulbright? He's not here. Where'd he go? Entrance, maybe? Nope. We're missing something. remote. Just push it. Hey, there we go. There we go. There's a bullet hole. Take a look at this. Looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun. Think so? Based on my experience, I see this was fired from a regular pistol. And somebody fired a gun here, right? Apparently. It's an important fact. Nope. The police might have taken it, though. What'd you say? Do you see a bullet around somewhere? No. What do you mean? We have the bullet. We have it in our evidence. Bullet hole added to the court record. Let's ask about the bullet. Welcome to the Space Center, guest. Welcome. Yikes, what in the world? My name is Panko. Panko. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. I'm sightseeing. I'm not a robot. I'm Panko. Psychological observation. Navigation companion. Panko. Psychological observation navigation companion. How about just Punk? Glad we got that cleared up. Panko, I missed you. You've seen him before. Do you know this thing, Athena? She showed up last time you were here with the whole bullshit. You're such a pretty girl, Panko. That's a good girl. Thank you, thank you. Very happy, so very happy. Oh, it's a girl. It has titties, so it's a girl. I don't know you. I don't know you. That hurt. She has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register them, Panko. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. Nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Sure. Registering. We're now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. It's quite cute. You made a friend, boss. Isn't that great? Yeah. Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Goody. Go where? Getsa. Where the fuck is this? Oh, this is where the rocket is. You can't be launching rockets in here. You need a big, wide open space. You can't launch rockets here, bro. Is that a rocket? Is this rocket real? Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day here from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Learn about the history of our nation's space development in the Hat 1 project. Rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. Where are we? Launchpad 1. Same size as the real one. Space Museum. Oh, it's on the map. Okay, so it's a fake one. It's a replica. Ask me anything, I will explain. Hat 1. It's quite the place. I can't believe we get to see a rocket up this close. The replica of Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. It's a replica. Exactly like the real Hat 1 inside and out. So little brother Hat 2 was supposed to launch the other day. Yeah, but you can't launch inside. You have to launch outside with an open space. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out, check it out. Suits photos. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Someone got stabbed. What's this photo of? There they are. Who are these? It's the staff. There's Mr. Starbuck. Looks so young and so different. And that's... What is it, Athena? Something wrong? Oh, nothing. I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young. Well, 7 years ago after all, so the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Tarrant, the victim. 7 years ago. You said 7 years ago. How old was he? 23 minus 7. He was 16. He was still in high school. He was 16. So their mentor and prodigy even way back then. He's even got one of the staff jackets. He looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's jackets. Cool. Alright, that makes sense. Clay would have been in high school 7 years ago. Everyone looks so happy. The Space Museum is great. Fantastic exhibits. There used to be a launchpad too. That's why the entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if it just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of budget cuts. Budget cuts. We need more money. Who would record that kind of information to a guide robot? Hat1 launched the probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Crosswell said too. He told us it came back from the day before the day Clay was killed. Here it is, the Hope space probe. I've seen that logo somewhere. Oh yeah, the capsule. I should show it to her? The photo... maybe she'll give me information if I show it to her. Let's show it to her first. Do you recognize the capsule here on the top right? I know, it's a Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contained asteroid sample, right? Yeah, it was designed to store samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. Must not be removed, must not be removed. Remove it! Let's remove it! So the capsule has been kept on Launchpad 1, huh? So Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. Space Center staff must have been really excited to get to find the capsule back. But it's a pity the incident occurred before they got a chance to check the... You can still check it! What do you mean it's a pity the incident occurred? You can still check it, right? But the police take it as evidence, so they have to wait a long over. Yeah. So once the case is over, you can still check it. Setup of the launch pads. Go gently in my spiky-haired mind. I want to know. Phoenix wants to know. Great. Athena's got a case of punkoitis. I'll tell you then. Rocket is built right inside the launch pad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along with the launch pad over the rails and brought into position at the launch site. Alright, so that's more fair. So they're launching it outside. So they move the whole building and then just leave the rocket outside, right? Very cool. Grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. Because everyone was hoping for a bigger budget next year, myself included. Yeah, that's a lot of tax money, bro. That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center too. Either way, the safety lock on the boarding lounge has to be the first disintegrated. I guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I'd love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold because of the bombing and the murder, I'll bet, which is perfectly understandable. When was the last time it was moved? Searching data. Sorry. Answer isn't in my answerable database. Well, we certainly learned all about the Space Museum. Thank you, Palco. You explained everything very well. Not to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. It's hard to believe you just met recently. It's because Palco is so funny. You were here like 10 years ago, right? 7 years ago? What should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have to ask him about. Let's see, your security footage and fingerprint data, was it? Let's go back to Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye-bye. Come again. Don't forget to visit the gift shop. Fulbright. Hey, what's up? What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There is it. Yeah, there he is. Let's hope he's still in a cooperative mood as well then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress? We found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did? Our team found that too. It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm. That's right, a warning shot for the defendant. Was it really such a high-threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details, but with Detective Arm gone and all. But I thought there was 2 people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Director Cosmos will testify tomorrow, so... What do you mean only 2 people knew about it? Like, it was gonna launch, right? And then it got cancelled because of the explosion? So there should have been like at least 100 people looking at the launch. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. I hope it goes down easy. Fingerprint data. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on this prints, on the prints we found in the boarding lounge. Yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everything related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. Damn, bro. What's up with this dude? When I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackwell said to dig deep, so that's what I did. Sure took a while, though. Well, Apollo's got... He even got the prints of all the robots. Oh, robots have prints. Ah, Clay's fingerprints are here, too. Clay. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Can't believe he took off his gloves to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. A lot of doors that require fingerprint verification. So depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense, after all, the culprit prints did get past the fingerprint lock somehow. And take this picture. It might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo? Yep, but Prosecutor Blackwell seems really interested in it for some reason. What's so important about the door? Beats me, but boy. Could you see the gears in the head go into hyperdrive at it? So I was like, this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Hey, don't forget the print comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think you can run a test for us right now? Leave it to me, and justice we trust. Do we get to play? There we go. Looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. Must have opened it when they went to go board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right then. Launchpad 1 door lock, updated and court record. Ask the Fulbright for info on the case. Present security camera footage. This one? About the security footage that was taken by the boarding lounge 1 camera. Oh, that footage? Go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie. Glad to show you. Here we go. Huh? Screen went blank. Yes, apparently after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage after this point. Why didn't you say that from the beginning? So something definitely seems up with you. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figured if we work together, we get closer to justice, right? Seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I could never do something like that. Ah? What? The Magatama. Cyclox. Dude, it's been a while since we did this one. So present the break those locks and revealing any secrets they're hiding. That's right. How much did they bilk you out for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I'm more than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. I'm fraud. It really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Why you're being cooperative? I think you're hiding something, detective. Why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Torn over life? Justice? Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Static fact. Yep. Peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guardrail for a routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard details were relaxed as you claim. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for a routine rocket launch. Peaceful, everyone whistling a happy tune as they did the job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail. As you claim, as long as this exists. Bombing report? Okay, what's up with this? I don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim. The guard detail. Evacuation report. And right police keeping action with power outage. Oh, before the explosions, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch, and yet security was so tight even brought in a special task force. I totally describe that as relaxed guard detail. Now hold on just a moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in this for a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that's not true. But I say it's very strange that this person would be part of the detail from the outset. Detective Arms specialized in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew there was the possibility that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Right? Alright, what's going on? Unlock success. What you can't say. Now you have to tell me. I can say it, you win. Just that you say. A few days before the launch, there were warning about a potential bombing. The plan was to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decision was to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. That's the big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you're upset. But it's not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. Yeah, he's supposed to be in jail, right? What's with him, man? Never mind that. What are the rules What are rules but things to be broken, right? Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. I think we guessed that much, but why is it being allowed? I've been wondering and wondering about it. So you weren't told why either, huh? No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, I would have had to have... But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt has been on for the Phantom of 7 years. Past continues even still. The Phantom. The Phantom, huh? And not one of his friendly variety. What happened 7 years ago? That's when this thing happened, right? From the photo? When Apollo was 16? Not a clue, but he seems to think that this phantom is behind the whole incident somehow. Wait a minute, he thinks they may be connected to this case? Yep, this case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, the case happened right here at this very space center too. In both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident is the work of a phantom. Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago, that's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started the whole dark age of law. So see how this phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related. Hold up, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. That was Phoenix Wright's last case, right? Before I went homeless? This incident in the Phantom, not to mention Blackwell's past, almost inconceivable that they would come hand to head. Some crazy can't possibly believe that Mr. Starbucks is a Phantom person, right? And he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all. Ah. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbucks is his phantom. But I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to them, which is why he's acting impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck, and that's not real justice. I've always trusted Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now, but this time, I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he's lost his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction. That's why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly what we defense lawyers are working to prevent. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. Don't tell him that. You have to promise me you won't. Detective Fulbright, I guess I was wrong about you. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. He's a good dude. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his motions and tear the defendant apart. You're the only ones who can stop him in the court. You really care and want what's best for Prosecutor Blackwell, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you'd say that. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a while ago. Really? Let's go. I'm gonna work extra hard to find a perfect piece of evidence for you. And justice we trust. 3, 2, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. I fucked that up. There he goes. In justice we trust. The witness must be around here. You? Hello. No, they said it's a woman, right? Uh-oh, don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hello, come over here. She has some kind of fetish for robots. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you Clonko? Shall I guide you? I don't know why, but this robot thing is kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Hey. Again. I've had it with you, hunk of junk. What do you mean hunk of junk? It's a piece of technology. It has AI and everything. You can't just hit this like... You can't just hit the thing like that. Yes, I loved it. I was gonna put you on a curb on trash day. Nothing works better than 42.5 degree of karate chop. It's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you one of this murder? I'm Phoenix Wright. I'm the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Big shot lawyers, huh? Or a Blackwell. Blackwell. Hold up. Blackwell, could she be? And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name is the Hunk of Junk. My name is Chunk Plunko. That's me, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Punko too. God, but Miss Aura, everyone calls me Klunko. Quit your sparkling already. Bro, she's killing him. She's killing him. He runs on batteries, bro. Oh, there. I bet you won't be talking back now. I will obey completely. Yikes, better watch for that wire. She's 37. Simon is 28. Blackwell 37. So a 9-year difference. So that's his sister. Her last name is Blackwell. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You're correct. Simon Blackwell, he used to be prosecutor, is... Shut up. Only speak when I order you to speak. Damn, is my little brother. You know him? I know him. Yikes, we met him in court a few times, right, Athena? You know her too? What a dull creature. Has her switch been turned off? Athena's being shy? This is new. Oh yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Damn, bro, what the fuck? What do you think, hunk of junk? She's an asshole! I'm asking you a question, why don't you answer me, you hunk of junk? Miss Sora, you told me only to speak to you when you order me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as a scrap. Robot abuse, hawk attacks, Blackwell family life must sure be interesting. Oh, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. Not like I'm inside or anything. I just want to get this over with. The witness. What you say? You're the person who witnessed the incident. That's right. I'm on the 4th floor of the main building, robotics lab. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation of Fulbright. It was such a pain. Why couldn't they have just used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. And then, as I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge 1 on my way down, I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So you saw the crime as it happened, and that's about it, I see. You saw it being committed. So you saw into the 3rd floor lounge. The very scene of the crime. That's right. There's a small window on the right-hand side of the room. I looked through from the outside. Listening. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in their left hand and a knife in their right. It must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. The power was out on that floor then, and there was only that tiny window. I see, but did you witness the moment of the murder? Yes, I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife. It happened at precisely 10 a.m. What time is this? At 10 a.m. Is there any record of the time? Space Museum is open to the public every day from 9 to 7 p.m. Anything else with the time? Could the autopsy tell me the time? Okay, 10 a.m. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer happen? I already told you. It was pitch black there. Although I didn't notice that the lighter in the left hand had a pretty ornament on it. Looked like a planet. It was blue, like a little Earth emblem. They had a good taste in knickknacks anyway. An earth emblem on the lighter. I better remember that. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck's innocent with it. I won't hold my breath. Pardon me? Oh, did I hurt your feeling? Sorry. I just detest lawyers, that's all. What don't you like about lawyers? It's just a instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Why you hate lawyers? Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. From 7 years ago, right? It's meaningless in the first place. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie, they're influenced by silly emotions. You can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better. Even sad sacks like this one. But you just abused it. You're abusing it. So she doesn't like anybody. Ah, yikes. Here we go. What the fuck? Ultimate robot with amazing presence. Me, operate victim, vacuums from the heel, robot moves on all the time. God, what was I doing? So she just hates everything. Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want them. Unlike humans, they're petty emotions and constant worries. Like you. How can you say such things? That's what makes us human. Well, girl finally talks, and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human? You mean getting angry and sorting like that? Rational thought, that's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It must be nice to have such a simple mind. Can I punch her? Go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, you got my permission. Humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, why people like you in charge? How can you possibly trust the legal system? So she distrusts not only lawyers or prosecutors, but the whole legal system. What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Even if somebody important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial. Really. Because I'd much rather kill them myself. Damn, bro. Can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, shit. Now that you mention it, yeah. It might have come from here. The widget? Oh, I get it. Well, Her Royal Highness has returned to her castle. Royal what? Is she talking about Athena? By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director is going to be the star witness in the court tomorrow, right? That's right. You poor things. You better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. Yeah. He might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But that's your problem. Why should I care? What is it? No friendly tips, no good luck, just splendid? I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk chunk. Sad thing that she doesn't believe in her legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. You're right, Athena? You seem very down. I can't believe she says all those things. She's really upset. Has she been trying to not let it show all this time? Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. You heard about fabricated evidence and false indictments. You mean that the whole dark age of the law nonsense? I'm so sick of hearing about that. All we can do is believe what we're doing. Yeah. You're right, boss. I agree. Maybe it's time we went to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea. We should tell him about the bullet and Miss Blackwell's statement. Alright, then next stop, detention center. Sup? My lawyers are here. Must be bad news. It's not necessarily. We found a new witness. A researcher saw the moment of murder through a lounge window during her escape. Really? So they're gonna let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark, so she couldn't identify the person. Disappointment. But we gotta leave too, Mr. Starbuck. The murder had a lighter with an earth emblem on it. A lighter with an earth emblem. Do you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit though. Anything at all would be help, so please. The lighter. I thought I was unconscious the whole time. But now I remember why I woke up for a few brief minutes. I woke up? What do you mean woke up? A lighter. I saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good. What else did you see? It's definitely the boarding lounge, so it must have been after Clay carried me there. In the light from the flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. Dark shadow, that must have been the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more than helpful. If we can prove there was a third person at the scene and that they're really the killer, then you'll be cleared of all suspicion. The key will be whether or not we can identify the third person before tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now. That's a big plus. I should probably tidy the evidence up a bit. So, you found your strategy for tomorrow's trial? Good for you, Daddy. Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully it will give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now, let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote for Elden's noodles. Oh, Apollo. Sup? Found anything? What are you doing here? I don't think the clinic was ready to release you just yet. He's in his uniform too. My wounds are fine, and I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave the case to us. Thanks, but that's not an option. Not for me. Right, his friend. Your injuries. They're fake. You shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo. I don't want you overdoing it. I'm fine. I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they gave me an IV at the clinic. An IV isn't a cure for all, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the case is going. Have you guys made any progress? Suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. We think they must be the real killer. Suspicious figure, huh? Right. I thought you'd be happier than that. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. And I fully intend to see Clay's murder apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Clay Terran. Clay was your best friend, right? That's right. Best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. So what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy, and he really had a loud voice. Two of you did voice training together now. I bet you break a few windows. You know, I bet you're right. Words of steel, he says. Seems like only yesterday, Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. We used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut and me a lawyer. We talked well into the night, and even then, we never grew tired of it. Apollo, about that jacket. Was that his? Was it Clay's? Oh, it's Clay's. It's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. And now you have it. You couldn't just replicate it? Yeah, that was my dream come true. Dang it, it's not fair. Damn, bruh. You made the lady speechless. I couldn't carry the burden all alone. I guess you're both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. I guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. That was a rough time for me, but Clay refused to let me quit. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. You mean the Gavin one? From last game? You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. I was right during his screening exams, too. I couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That "you're fine" of his is why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? I'm fine. You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. When we were in junior high, Clay's mom passed away in an incident. We wouldn't show his status to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Sob, Mom, get away, Apollo. Don't come over here. Clay, listen to me. I don't have a mother either. Huh? I always think everyone else is mom. Why am I the only one? How old were they? They said junior high? What is that, middle school? High school? Not sure. You know, when I start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine, and then you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. He does have his mom. He just never saw her, right? It's from the last game, the blind lady. Apollo Justice is fine. Okay, Clay, it's your turn. Okay, Clay Terran is fine. There you go. Now we're both fine. We're fine. We're fine. What are you laughing about? See? We're fine. You laughed first. We're fine. We're both fine. Ha ha ha. Thanks, Apollo. When you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. And as long as you don't give up, you can keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up, wasn't there somebody else who said something familiar? As long as I can keep the fight. So that came from you. That came from you, right? I wonder if I can be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What do you mean by a leave? You're really serious. Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too. I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth? That's a noble cause. But what if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying? I'm gonna catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life in my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now, I must be going. Goodbye. Okay. Did you just say goodbye? I sense a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him, and also suspicion. He's not looking out on us. I'm gonna talk some sense into him. Hold on, you just met him, by the way. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. Even if we take different paths, the truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it will be for Apollo. You're right, boss. Alright. That's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, right? If he were right here now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. Alright. Let's leave it here. Save, yes.